And welcome back to my nightmare. So if you haven't seen it before, this is my fish room that I've been setting up. It's a little bit dark at the moment because I'm usually here at night because I work all day. But we have lots and lots of updates in the last week, I think, since I posted a video about it. I have these tanks, which are 4-foot tanks, and they are stupidly high. I think there's like 7 or 8 foot up. This is 6 foot, so 7.5 foot up. I don't know if they're going to support the weight. They're going to support the weight. I don't know if the floor is going to support the weight of these tanks. Because I have my steel stands on bricks. I should have probably put pieces of wood underneath to even it all out. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I haven't filled them up yet because it's another 250 kilos on each stand. So what could possibly happen is in 6 months' time, you'll get something, a little thumbnail saying disaster, as one of these has managed to go boom and just destroy all my Coridoris tanks. Let's hope not, but I'm not going to drain these tanks to fit wood underneath. I think I might just get some metal screws and screw through so everything is kind of supported. And I think if all 4 of them are screwed in, that will be 4 times the legs. So 4 times 4, that's what, 16. So there's 16 little points instead of just 4. That makes sense, doesn't it? If that makes sense, comment down below that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, just nod and smile. We will get to these tanks in a minute, but Mr. Red-tailed catfish, if you don't know about my catfish, I have had him for, how long? 18, nearly 19 years. He has been in a big pool for most of his life in the shop. He is now home. He is in a 4-foot by 9-foot tank. Sorry, it's not that big. So these tanks down below are 3 foot. So he's probably close on 3 foot. The reason he's only 3 foot, I would guess, is because he's a male. The female is supposed to get 5-6 foot. He hasn't got any bigger than that, and he's had a lot of space. So what he has done to this tank, though, is he has moved all the gravel that was down there all the way up there. So I don't know how I'm going to even try and aquascape with a few rocks, because he's just going to trash the rocks, and I don't really want to come home to my 19-year-old catfish dead because he's destroyed the tank. So he may just have to have normal gravel on the bottom until I put him into a bigger tank, which is the plan. Big tank, lots of other bigger fish, happy days. I don't think he's going to get along with anything except for the tiny little endlers that live in his tank at the moment. So he's sort of just there now. I still need to move all the fish in the other 9x4, but I still need the plumbing sorted for down the bottom. I have managed to move this tank, and this tank is Neocaridina shrimp. I have lots of little flatworms I need to get rid of as well. But if we zoom on the shrimp, you can probably see lots of worms in there, but they haven't managed to destroy many shrimp. But I do need to get rid of those horrible little worms. Apart from that being moved, I have moved the tank that was here. There was a Bircher tank here, or Becher, depending on what part of the world you come from. So I have, and we are running out of lights because I don't have lights on these tanks. They're a little bit brown at the moment because I'm treating them with trisulfur because I have a new Oscar. So that is just a random cool Oscar. He's a very nice Oscar. I think it's a he, I'm not entirely sure. There is a photo on the screen of him in the bucket. Sorry, that's the water he came in and he was a rescue Oscar. He is happy with the other albino Oscars in the pool. And this is a 5-foot diameter pool, I think 1,100 litres or so. Just filtered by 2,000 canisters and some biofilters in the other tanks. But this pool is hooked up to these 4-foot tanks. So it's pretty much just into the canister, up the top, through the overflows, back in. And that's the same on the other side. And it's just heated with a titanium heater inside here. I'm only using 600 watts at the moment because it is quite warm. Until winter hits, and then I need 1,200 watts of heat, and then I blow the power pole out the front like I did. If the neighbours are watching me, it wasn't me. It was someone else that blew the power in the street. Whoops. It won't happen again. I need to get solar. Sponsor me if you're a solar person, please. Before winter hits, that would be wonderful. So, up the top here, we've got the 2 4-foots at the back. I was thinking of smaller tanks here just so I've got more individual grow out room for stuff and that. I don't think I'm going to have these drilled into the system. I think I'll just manually do water changes on these. It'll be a little bit easier, then I can control, you know, more acidic in some tanks for different fish and all that sort of stuff. Nothing in that 4 foot at the moment, but I do need to move some fish from the 6-hoo around the other side. Mr. Groper is still going well. Hello, how are you? He's going well. Has not eaten his blue damsels. I still have one blue damsel in my sump down there. I need to rescue before the crab gets him. But so far he's getting along with the crab. Yes, there is a crab in my sump. I still have way too many baby fish in these tanks. But these baby fish are the ones I'm going to move into those tanks. I just need to pump water from that system, run it through at UV so nothing nasty goes in there, and then transfer them over. So I'll do that in the next couple of days. All going well, as long as my floor holds. Moving along, in this tank here, I have my first lot of African cichlids that I'm going to breed after years of not breeding African cichlids. I already have a mouthful of Lombardy fry that they haven't hatched, they've come out of the mouth. That's them on the screen. So Lombardy are these blue ones. Males are yellows, that's a young male there. I've also got some albino blue dolphins. They are lovely fish. I have never had the albino version before. Well, never grown them up. I've sold them in the shop. Usually got the normal blue ones. They will get quite big, so obviously they're not going to stay in this 4-footer because it's only about 250 litres. But I am going to set up an African area. Yes, I know. Mostly Tanganyikans, but a few Malawis like these. And I've also got some Rostratus, the little spotty guys at the back. They also get quite big. They're another Malawi cichlid. So these are all Malawi cichlids. So they're going to get about maybe 30 centimeters. I think I used to have them in the early 2000s, and they would get like around that 25 to 35 centimeter max for the males. Really nice, colorful fish. There's one on the screen. That's what they're going to look like. Very cool to breed them again, well, to grow them up. So I'm probably 6 months away from them getting breeding size. But all going well, I'll have lots of African cichlid tanks. So the 4 foot down below is just pumping the water up to this one. They're trickling back again. And that is just on a system 2, 25 degrees. I have stuff everywhere. So apart from that, in the middle, this side here, these two tanks are connected as well, again with a canister filter. I'm kind of cheating and just using canister filters to pump the water through because they're all established from my other tanks, and I've just moved everything around in the last week. But you can't see in these tanks because I don't have any lights, but there are lots of humphead cichlids, there are gold dust geophagus, a few bristlenose, another giant gourami. Yes, I have a giant gourami fetish / issue right now. And I have giant gouramis just about everywhere. No, they're not for sale. I'm growing them up. There's the catfish going nuts. Did you see that? Just spins around and just whooshes all the gravel up to that side. So I'm never going to be able to keep rocks with him in something that small. And yes, a 9x4 is pretty small when your fish is nearly 90 centimeters long. If only we could get a bigger tank. We will one day, hopefully soon. So in this tank down here, I have my Bristlenose breeders. They're just common Bristlenose mostly. There's a few other bits and pieces in there. I think there's a few random geophagus breeders in there as well. Can't see anything. There is another giant gourami. There's a giant gourami in the murk. Hello, are you coming up? There he is. So another giant gourami, some baby stingrays. They actually heard me, well, saw me, and want to be fed again. I will have more baby stingrays available end of January for people chasing them. At the moment, don't have any, growing them up. Angelfish, so just started splitting up the angelfish. So I've got the blues, which are technically black. I don't know why people don't call them blue angels when they're black, but they're supposed to be blue. They're black. A couple of green, Bulgarian green angels. I've got a pair in there, a rogue female in there, and some Peru ultims, which I bred tons of them last year. Probably never want to breed them again, but I have a pair of my babies in there. The rest of them are in that tank over there, the 6x3. Moving along, the Coridoris tanks. Yeah, there was a little issue with the Coridoris tanks. Everything spawned when I moved them in here, if you saw my last breeding Coridoris video. Wondering how the Coridoris fry are going? They're not too bad. I have managed to rig up this drip system. So I've got a pump in my sump, pumping water and trickling into all these tubs. These tubs are just simple cricket tubs. I know, I should be using proper stuff, because what happens when you use cricket tubs with big holes in them? All the baby fish go over. So, most of my baby Coridoris, which I spent hours one night taking eggs off the glass and sticking them in the tubs so they'd be safe, have all gone through. So I had to move a lot of the adults from the bottom, they're up the top, and there's babies in there, there's babies through the overflows that go into my 6-foot sump down the bottom. So there'll be babies down there. So when I feed the babies in the tubs that are still in the tubs, like on the screen, see there's still babies in the tubs, I'm also feeding the tanks and I'm also feeding the sump with baby brine. I know, that was a total disaster. I'm gonna get proper breeding things with fine mesh, so next time I actually trigger them and they don't just spawn as soon as I move them into the new system, I'll be a lot better organized for them. So I'm not too concerned. I've had the adults for like a year or two. Oh, there's my double saddle cories, the little baby ones. How cool are they? Well, ignore the other cories in there, but the little double saddles, growing them up, they'll be fun to breed in another maybe 6 months, 8 months or so. But I think I kept 8 of those. I still have some of those available in the shop as well. Anyway, apart from that, in this tub here, we also have some baby bristlenose. So hopefully we can see them under this log. Let's just zoom the camera in a little bit. Look at them. Baby bristlenose, how cool are they? So they're just normal bristlenose. I think there's obviously a couple of albinos in there. They don't seem to be coming out of the holes. So that's good, because I don't want bristlenose. Oh no, I just saw a baby bristlenose. Yeah, okay. So they may be coming out of the holes as well. Oh, happy days. So those bristlenose there will probably just go in here, through the overflow, and they'll be in there. Hopefully they'll clean up some of the food that the baby Coridoris don't eat. Still have to move my guppies. Still have to sort out the L number tanks. I've just let them chill at the moment. But I think that is probably about this video done. I'm not too sure if I need to move this pool or not. But yeah, once I get lights for that, it'll be a little bit more user-friendly, be able to see the cool fish. Need to breed the bircher back again. Need to breed the bircher again. It's been like 6 years or something like that. 5 years, I have no idea. But that's where we are so far with the fish room. So if you liked this video, click the thumbs up so I know. Nothing you see here is technically for sale, even though I do have an aquarium shop. But if you do see fish you like, I possibly have them available or can get them in. Anyway, we will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, click the thumbs up so I know. And we will see you in the next update. And every time I turn the lights off, I realize that these glowing rocks are super weird. So yeah, if you do know what they are, comment down below. They were in my last fish room video, so if you check that out, you'll see a little bit more information about them. I've had them for years, didn't realize they glowed until I put them in a fish tank. They are heavy, they are white when they're not in the dark, but they glow, they absorb light. They're real rocks, they're not artificially painted or anything like that. Very freaky. Anyway, comment down below if you know what that possibly is. And let's hope they're not radioactive. See ya.